Welcome to Allie's Wonderland Creations. I am Alice Seraphin and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the U.S. Today is a little bit different because I have a whiteboard already for a different video. So I'm using the back of one for this video because the supplies were already out on my desk. Today's card is going to be like so. Now, in this card, this is just jade. This is Pretty in Pink, basic white, my little bunny. This is, Flowers for Every Season. Flowers for Every Season, which is retired. But I love using my retired products, but we are using all products that are currently available. So that is my inspiration card. Those cards, I'll show you again. This lovely little card is one of my cards for my card exchange that will be launching on April 2nd. It is a card exchange, not a card swap. It is by email list only. And if you are interested in joining that, it is a monthly card exchange with a list going out on the 1st or 2nd of every month of those wishing to participate. You needn't mail a card to every participant on the list, but at least one, and your cards must be handmade. There are no restrictions as to products, companies that you wish to use. This is an exchange of kindness, thoughtfulness to others who appreciate the art and craft of paper crafting. And so you can write a note to the person. It's kind of like a pen pal group. For more information, email me at, I created an email, all lower, Allie's Wonderland, all lower, Wonderland Creations at gmail.com. You can add your name to the list. This email address is not for advertising. It is simply for this card exchange, and I hope it grows into something wonderful over the next year. So let's go over what we're using in today's card. So we're using Easter Friends. We're using the bunny. I have had a really hard time using this stamp. I have looked up tutorials, tried to follow tutorials in coloring the bunny. I've yet to work with the duck. The duck, I'm a little disappointed in the nose of my stamp. I've got to work some more with it. But this is what we're using, the bunny, and I found a great way to do this, and I'm really, really happy with it. And I don't think anybody else has done it this way, so I'm excited to share it with you. We are going to be using Art Gallery, this image right here. We are also, I didn't put on here, we're using the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and we're using the largest and second largest. And I'm going to be using the Stamparatus. In fact, earlier I was looking for my bunny stamp, and I'm like, where on earth is it? Where is it? And then I realized, oh, I left it in the Stamparatus. Our colors are going to be Early Espresso, Cinnamon Cider, and Pale Papaya. And also we're using Versamart, and we're using Just Jade here. And let's see, Polished Pink. And we are using, this is the piece of DSP from Flowers for Every Season that I used in this card. So just wanted to show you. I'm going to be doing the same thing, but with a piece of 6x6 that I cut from a 12x12 of the expressions in ink. So all of these products are available in the catalog currently. So let me get this set aside and we will get started. So this had Bumblebee on it. It is my yellow blending brush. I really want to get off as much as I can before I dip it into the Pale Papaya. And yes, I know it's not a Stampin' Up! Blending brush, but that's because I need to order more because I only have, what, the 3 or 4, I guess it's 3 blending brushes, and they're all currently in a different color. So we are first going to start with our 6x6 piece of DSP. I'm getting my cutter out. Okay, this is just a simple half sheet of cardstock, scored in half, folded in half, which I do. Either way you want to do that is fine. This is the largest Stitch So Sweetly rectangle die in polished pink, which I previously have done. I also have cut out excuse me, a piece of basic white in the second largest die. Now, if you're wondering about my hands, my dear daughter decided she wanted to dye her hair black and blue, and I helped her, and I have dye all over me. So this piece here, which is a 6x6, needs to be cut down to 5 by 4. So before we go and cut it on the diagonal. So we want a 5 by 4 piece. And I'm really hoping I haven't got it wrong. And then we are simply taking it on either diagonal, lining the pointy ends up on our cutter and just cutting. And there we have our 2 halves, which, let's make sure, yes, I made a mistake with my other ones and I had to retrim them down. So that is how that's going to be. In fact, this one looks like it needs to go at the bottom. So we'll be doing 2 of these. Trying to think if that's all I needed for this card, and so far it is. Okay, so we've done our cutting of our DSP. And I'm going to set this aside because now we are going to stamp on our basic white stitched rectangle die. And if you've seen me use my Stamparatus, you know I don't use the corners, that I put little marks where I want things. Oops, it's the wrong side. So right about there, and I want this barely on there. Got to turn that around. This is a very powerful magnet. So this is where, oops, let's see if I can get this in camera. I got a new camera, everybody. I'm so excited. Gave up my iPhone for a Nokia. My husband did some research for me. So I'm taking Early Espresso and I'm just going over my bunny. And let's see. Oh, it closes nicely. Taking my little coaster my friend Jackie made me and just rubbing over my bunny. Let's see. Oh, that came out so wonderful. Okay, so setting that aside, and I'm going to get rid of my Stamparatus. Okay, so we don't need the Early Espresso anymore. And I just realized I did forget a couple of more things on my card to show you. We are going to be using some mint macaron, light and dark, for the green under the bunny. So let's get to coloring. Where did I do with my scratch paper I had that I've been doing this? Alrighty, so now where is my, here we go. Wait till you see what I've done. This is me playing around with the bunny and blending brushes and blending blends. Didn't like the imagery at all. So what I did is I cut out my bunny completely. And I'm using this now as a mask to go over my bunny here. Sam, I even cut his eyes out because I was like, maybe I'll color his eyes. So what I'm going to do now is take my bunny, line this up around him, because I don't want to get any of the cinnamon cider on my white. That looks good. So I'm taking my cinnamon cider sponge dauber. Yeah, if I can open up my ink pad. And I will show you, I took a little Post-it style note and I just did kind of squiggly lines, did this. You'll see it. Okay, that's what I've done. And I am using this also for masking. So the first thing I do is I kind of bring it in here, and I know that this is not perfect, but to give my bunny some dimension, like I want it darker here and lighter there, I mask where I want the darker away from the lighter, and I am just doing a light pouncing, and I really want with the little lines in his stamp, I want that. Do you see how that works? So cute. Okay, now I take this where this is sketched lines. I am simply using my Post-it note like so, and I made one for his eyeball. Look at that. And I'm not worrying about gluing them down because I'm just pouncing straight up and down. Okay, maybe I do need to hold this one down a bit. Let's see. Hold it with this finger because I want it real dark in there around his eyeball. And is this easier than the blends? For me it was, because I was getting really frustrated with this stamp set, and I do mean frustrated. Look at that. Oh, I need to get a little bit in there. Okay. So then I'm going to move it again, and do you see this area here on his chest? Yep, I'm doing the same thing. So I'm just kind of masking that out. And this is where I'm pouncing hard and I'm getting more ink in this area, and then I'm going to go over my entire bunny with what's left on the dauber. See how cute that is? And I'm just moving these around. I just hit that with my jacket. Gotta move my sleeves. Of course, if I taped it down, it wouldn't do that, would it? Alright. Yeah, it might be a little time consuming, but so is blends. And I actually enjoy this. This is something that is not difficult at all. Just a matter of covering up what I don't want any, you know, deep saturated cinnamon cider on. And I'm moving this again. Now for this little part by this eye, I literally covered it up like so, took another piece and just made a little crevice in there, and I don't want that showing, so I'm gonna put this other piece here, and I went straight on it, and you're gonna see, look at that. So I'm gonna line that back up, and now we are gonna work on his little ear. So let's see, we want this here, I want this in there, and now I'm going to do this ear of my bunny. Alright, so now we're going to move farther down his body. And I see that this here needs some more ink. And I'm telling you, I didn't have this much trouble until I'm trying to be so careful in the video. Maybe I shouldn't try to be so careful. Alright. Move that there. And yes, I'm going to do his little paw. Darker down there, And this little paw needs to come up like so. And I wasn't, you know, overly careful with it, just the curves that I put in the I'm going to get a little bit more in there. Really make it look like he has an arm. Now we're moving to the rest of the shaded area of his body. And I'm going over the darker areas more with the ink. And here we go. Let's see. This one looks like it fits in there better, and it does. Can't see, huh? Checking my camera, and I just dipped my fingers in the ink. All right, and we have a little bit more right here to do. And now we are ready to go over our entire bunny. And like I said, I take off most of the ink and I just tap up and down on my bunny. And it gives him this really soft speckled look. And he's got shading, and you can make him, you know, you can go as dark or as light as you want. It is totally up to you, but I was extremely pleased with my bunny. And you can see now I got to go back and fix this because I wasn't as careful. Let's see, oh, it goes right there. I got a little off. And I just do want to go in and fix this. So. He can't have streaks. There we go. Now my bunny is complete. I'm going to set my mask aside. Wipe my hands off with some hand sanitizer. I know this is why my cuticles and my nail beds are so bad. Now, the mint macaron, let me find them, making sure. Nope, that's Granny Apple Green. Don't want that. Oh, was it just Jade? Huh. Now I can't remember. It might have been just Jade. Let's take a look. Nope, it is just Jade. I can already tell. So it took dark just Jade. Let's check this one out. Well, we're going to do just Jade. Just because we're going to do it a bit different. Make it a bit darker. Granny Apple Green is in that, but we're using just Jade. So I'm just making... so lightly grounding my bunny, and I actually really like the Just Jade. Which one is this one? Light Just Jade. Oops, wrong end. I like the brush tip. And I'm not going into over the dark Just Jade, blending it in a bit. Alright, there we go. Yes, he's sitting on some green grass. Next, we are going to do, where is my, that's why we need this one in place. And I need to put something behind the eyes because we are gonna, oh no we don't. Don't know why where is what I use? We'll just use this. We are bringing in the pale papaya. And we are going to do the edge like so of the sweet Stitch So Sweetly rectangle die. And now I realize that I did not use this. I used a thicker piece of cardstock. I thought it was out in my bits and pieces that I keep if I can open up my container for some reason. Oh my gosh. It's really giving me a hard time. Little piece, a strip of cardstock worked the best for this. So I simply line this up along the stitching, on the inside of the stitching, okay? Oh, it still looks like it's what to do. I don't have another blending brush. And I really want the pale papaya, so we're going to do it with the sponge dauber. And I do believe this is mine. Yes, okay. By the way, pale papaya and bumblebee do not go well on a blending brush. So, here we go. Pounce, pounce, pounce along the edge of the pale papaya, because that's one of the colors in the DSP that we're using. And all I did, oh yes, that looks so good together. All right, right there. Use what you have and make it work. And it gives it that extra bit around the edges that you would think would be an extra layer of paper, but it's not. And these cards are being made specifically flat for mailing purposes. So as not to cost extra postage, and I can mail out a whole bunch of them. Oh, so darling, my little bunny. I'm so pleased with how he came out. And was it worth that little bit of extra work? To me, it was so much easier to get the result I wanted with him than using my blends. And trust me, I tried and tried with the blends, and I just was crushed with this bunny. Just crushed. So there is our bunny. Setting the pale papaya aside. Let me stick this back in the case so I don't have any accidents with it. And then we're going to layer up our card. I really want this to go like so, and I'll give you a sneak peek, but we're not done with this yet, okay? We are bringing in, you know what would be really pretty with this is Granny Apple Green. Let me see. I'm just looking at, and I think we're going to cut a piece of Granny Apple Green because I think it's really going to make the card pop with the color. Look at that. And I should have used Granny Apple Green there. But that's all right. I wish you guys could tell me which one you liked better. And I am already going to tell you, I like the Granny Apple Green. So let's cut this in half real quick. And yeah, I'm cutting it upside down. Maybe not. I'm not going to cut it upside down. Let's just do it. 5 1/2. Right there. Ouch. Just looks better with the Granny Apple Green. Let me get a bone folder. Alright, and now we are going to use our art gallery in Versamark. So there's my Versamark. I really don't need the whole image done. I need more of the image on this bottom because I'm putting the diagonal up. So I just need more of the image on this side. The other parts just need a little bit. But I am going to go all the way around. I can stop inking up so much. My verse mark needs to be reinked. I've got it. It had a really good workout the other day when I was in here. Okay. And right there. So let's layer our card up. Maybe a little bit more along there. I went roughly the same border all the way around. It needs to come up some. All right, there we go. Next is our, well, we'll just layer these up together. In my sentiment, which is from the Easter Friends set, will be going on the inside, and we'll do the inside in just a second. And our envelope. There we go. Such a sweet little bunny. Okay, and on the inside, we have a piece of basic white, like so. And where is my, oh, I didn't. Let's see. Oh, I'm trying to think of what we're going to do. Sending warm and happy wishes this spring, and then happy Easter. So 2 blocks. That one. And happy Easter there. And we will do these in cinnamon cider. So let's do that before we go and put it on the inside. Just in case I mess up, I can. Okay, let's try to get it straight. There we go, and the happy Easter, but you know I'm gonna test it. And you know what they have in here too is a little stamp that says my friend, and I'm gonna put that in here too. If I can find a little block, perfect. And we're gonna set this like so, my friends. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, let's move all of those aside, and we could sponge the edges in our pale papaya, but we're not going to. Not going to. But our envelope, I think we will use a piece of our DSP. And I think I have a piece to go right down here. That's going to be for our envelope. This is what was cut off. So this is for making, let me look, yep, 4 inches. So my little guillotine cutter. So 4 inches this way. Well, let's cut it just a strip. Half an inch strip, and then cut it to 4, if I can get it in there. We're going to glue this down. So right inside, and you know what, since we have enough, we're going to go ahead and do another strip, just because there's plenty of it on the top. I'm allowed to change my mind and rethink things. Everybody is. Anybody is. So here we go. I had a great wound check from my doctor. I have 2 more weeks of light duty, no bending, no twisting, to let the scar tissue really hold in my implant. Oh my gosh, that is so darling. And I know I didn't do a whole lot on the front, but you could really step this up with ribbon and such. But I want this nice and flat for my mailing purposes. And let me grab an envelope real quick. And all we're going to do for this is take this, well, might take the shorter strip because it'll work. We are just going to glue this along the edge like so, and then we'll snip it off. So let's glue this down. And this strip, I'm telling you, I'll be using that strip to make some bookmarks for the elementary school. The librarian was very, very pleased with my box of bookmarks for the children, and my strips of DSP and such like this I do set aside, and then I'll go through my my scrap box, and ta-da! Look at that. That is so sweet. Now you could do some Wink Stella. Yeah, let's go ahead. You could tap it like so and put some little flecks all over this. And then let's put some in the eyes, in the nose, in his little paws. Just because we can do some here, like the sun is shining on him. Oh my gosh, he's so sweet. Can you see that? He just got a little bit of glittery look to him. And I am really, really happy with him. So have a wonderful time crafting, YouTube, and I'm going to be working on my next video. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Please give me a thumbs up and make a comment if there's something you would like me to try, or if there's something you think I can improve on. I am very open to all suggestions. Thanks again. Bye-bye.